In this episode number 1 of the Daily Hustle, we talk about terrorist employees, how to actually get stuff done, and roller skating.
Broadcasting from the box that rocks and Thrive15.com world headquarters, it's the Daily Hustle with Daniel McKenna.
What is going on, guys? Daniel McKenna over here, Marshall Morris over there. This is episode number 1 of the Daily Hustle. Episode number 1.
It feels pretty special, Dan.
It feels pretty special. When we go back in time, we go forward and then go back in time, we'll probably look at this and say, that was a terrible episode, but it was a good start.
Well, now we have set the expectations very low.
Now that the expectations are very low, now we can deliver a whole lot of value because you'll be like, I didn't expect it, and now they really came through. Yeah. So, really excited to be here with you guys today. The whole point of this show is to offer you a lot of value and answer your questions that you have on Thrive15.com. So, we are going through the mailbag to answer the questions of all the people that are on Thrive15.com. You can also find us on Twitter and on Instagram. And, of course, Marshall's personal cell phone. Personal cell phone. We will give that out to the 10th caller today.
The 10th caller.
We don't have a radio show type call-in show, but if we did, 10th caller would get
whoever comments, 10th commenter.
I like that. Okay. Let's jump right into question number 1 for the Daily Hustle. Marshall, make it a good one.
Okay, here we go. We have questions from Thrivers all over the country, okay? And so this particular question comes from Frank. Here we go, Dan. You ready?
I'm so ready. Ooh.
Okay, so this is what Frank says. Frank says, I feel hostage to employees in my business, but I have booked jobs, he's done sales, so I can't fire them. So Frank is feeling like hostage to the current people that he has. I called him up, asked him a little bit more detail about it. He said that specifically he has people that he just doesn't like working with. But he wants to get rid of them. So what does he need to do to get past that? So can you help Frank out?
But he has stuff he's already sold.
Yeah, so you can't just fire.
It's probably like a service business.
Yeah, it's a service business, and without giving too much away, he has technicians and a service business, and he's here in the Midwest.
Can we just listen to Juicy for another 3? This is for the people at home. This is for you at home. This is the kind of real value we're going to offer here on this show. Okay, I feel good now. All right, so Frank, great question, Frank. Number 1, before we dive into some mentor wisdom, I can tell you personally, I've had this exact same issue in my business. If you look up epicphotostulsa.com, that's me. If you look up Thrive15.com, I'm a co-founder there, involved in the same sort of thing, been building businesses for a while now, and I've had the same exact thing. In fact, of the dozens of people that you work with and the hundreds of people that we as an organization work with, hundreds of real-time coaches that we coach every week in their businesses, how many do you think have this sort of issue? How many do you think are you know what? I just don't like Sam. I pick Sam regularly. It's not because he's the camera guy. It's not that at all. We're just going to say, I just don't like Sam, but I can't get rid of Sam. How do you think?
I would say that every organization has one of you talk about A, B, and C players. Steve Jobs, he talks about A, B, and C players.
Yeah.
I think every organization can find one person that they're not thrilled about.
How many do you think, though, feel like they're hostage to this, though?
Hostage?
You've already booked the event. You already have promised these people we're going to show up, we're going to do a great job. And it's not just having a body, it's somebody that you already put the time in to train. You already put money into getting their skills up to a certain level. And now you're like, oh gosh, I just wish Sam wasn't here.
I would say probably 40 to 50%.
Okay, so rough estimate of the clients that we've worked with, the hundreds of coaching clients that we work with on a weekly basis, 40 to 50% have this same sort of issue. So Frank, this is a great question. So there's going to go 2 answers here. Yeah. First of all, we're going to lean on the Dr. Z method. The Dr. Z method. If you look up Dr. Zellner's office, they're about to celebrate 25 years here in Tulsa.
Yeah,
biggest optometry clinic in the region. Dr. Z's, Tulsa. Look that up.
Who is Dr. Z?
He is the CEO of Thrive15.com, and we've interviewed him on this same exact question before.
Yeah.
But basically, it comes down to having candid conversations. Now, you have to have them in a kind way because no one's going to Respond well if you're being very aggressive and it's like an emotional, like, oh, I hate you, Sam. That's probably not going to come across very well. But you do need to level expectations with Sam. And Sam, I apologize that we keep using your name, the camera guy. I'm sorry, Sam. I'm sorry. So you gotta have these conversations, expectations. Okay, Sam, specifically, this is where we need you to be. Specifically, this is where you are currently. Now, I would like for you to be from here to here. You got to have these conversations, right? So this is step number one. Have you had those conversations? Have you had the conversations to level the expectations? Okay, let's say you have. Let's say Frank's ahead of the game. He's already had the conversation. Sam just won't listen. Let's lean on some Jim Collins here to find out about why employees even matter.
Yeah.
Why isn't it just another cog in the workflow? Let's talk about Jim Collins. Who's Jim Collins, Marshall?
Jim Collins, he's a best-selling author. Okay, he wrote a series of books: Built to Last, Good to Great, Great by Choice. Wrote a number of different books. Good to Great is actually one of my favorite books.
Really?
Because he approaches it from a very case study perspective. Okay. He studied 1,500 companies, and of those 1,500, he identified that 11 of them were not good companies, but great companies. And he found some common denominators between those 11 different companies.
That's a small percentage.
It's a very small percentage.
Okay, so he took these 11 out of 1,500 and said, what made these 11 different?
That's right.
Okay.
And so it's awesome. It's a great book. If you haven't read it, you got to read it. It's a red book. Look for the red book in the bookstore, and that's that book.
If you go to the bookstore and look for only red books,
yeah,
I promise you will not be there longer than several hours. Yeah. Several hours, guaranteed you will not be there longer than several hours if you're looking for the red book. Okay, so Jim Collins. Let's talk some Jim Collins quotes over here. Number one, a company should limit its growth based on its ability to attract enough of the right people. So you shouldn't grow unless you have good people. Number two, great vision without great people is irrelevant. That's quote number two. Quote number three, get the right people on the bus and the wrong people off the bus. So apparently Jim Collins believes that from your company to go from good to great, to deserve to grow, to continue to grow, you got to have great people. So what happens when the great people aren't so great anymore? Ben Horowitz, he talked about this. In his book, Ben Horowitz, he sold his company for $1.7 billion. Cash.
With a B.
Cash.
That's with a B.
Cash.
That's
how big of a suitcase it takes for $1.7 billion?
That's a lot.
That's a big. That's a level up. That's a level up right there. He talks about the hard. What's his book called? It's called The Hard Things About the Hard Things.
Yeah.
Is that
hard
right?
things about the hard things. I'll fact check that.
Fact check that for me. But he basically said the hard thing isn't having the great vision or hiring great people. It's when the great people are no longer great people. That's what makes it a hard thing. So practical application, as Marshall is looking this up for me, so I don't just lead you way astray here. Practical application.
The hard thing about hard things.
There you go. I was close. The hard thing about hard things. Ben Horowitz. Read that book. It's a great book. Practical application here, Marshall. Let's talk about what we do here in the building, what Clay Clark, the COO of Thrive15.com, preaches to all of his business clients. This is what we do, and this is what we recommend you do. Talking about group interviews. Talk to me about what you do every Tuesday, 5:30, here in this building.
Okay, so there's a couple things here. First thing to understand is you have to hire before you fire.
Go on.
Okay? Now, that's twofold because we also teach you got to fire before you hire, and so it might be a little confusing for the other people that have seen our other trainings. But first and foremost is you have got to be bringing new people in before you can confidently let go of the other people that you have.
How many developers have we talked to on the phone, called up, flown out here, given them the whole red carpet treatment while we already had developers?
It's been a steady influx of developers.
It's happening all the time.
All the time.
And these aren't even spots that we definitely it's not like we're trying to pay another developer.
Yeah, we just same thing. Photographers, videographers, graphic designers.
Every week.
It doesn't matter if you currently have somebody. You got to continue to be hiring for that particular position, okay? Because you never know when somebody's going to move on to a great thing for them, the next phase of their life. You don't know when somebody's going to cross the ethical boundaries and
become a terrorist. Yeah.
You don't know when somebody's going to get hit by a bus.
What if your company, let's say, this is an important point. Come back here. Come back over here. Here we go. Here's an important point. I don't know why I told him to do that. What if your company is 10 people. No. Come back. Seriously. What if your company only has 10 people in it? Let's say you're a small business. Majority of small businesses have less than 10 people in their company.
Yeah.
Let's say your business has 10 people in it and you have 3 Sams. You have 3 people that you don't want working for you, that you're kind of stuck working with. That means 30% of your company is people that you don't like, that you can't depend on.
That's right.
It's kind of a big deal. So
math checks out.
Okay, so every Tuesday, 5:30, which, by the way, if you're looking for a job, every Tuesday, 5:30, you got a chance. Every Tuesday, 5:30, what do you think? 5, 10, 20, depends on the week. How many people show up here in this building?
Yeah, I would say 20 people show up.
Okay, so let's say 20 people showed up, and then of those 20, how many of those do you want to talk to again after the group interview?
I would say proportionally, I would say maybe 3 of the 20.
3 of the 20.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the 15%
3
range.
to 5, yeah.
Okay, so somewhere in the 15-20% range of people that we even want to talk to again.
Yeah.
Okay, so number one, that's a great way to weed out people. A resume, by the way, unless it's a very highly skilled job, doesn't matter all that much because a lot of on-job stuff you can train them to do. If you're not talking super highly skilled, must be able to manage an international workforce, something like that, right? If it's something that's a lower barrier of entry, the resume doesn't matter.
I wouldn't say it not only does it not matter, but it's why it doesn't matter. It's because everybody lies on their resume. It's like you can just with anything, you can spoof a resume. Did you really go work there? Well, I had
the senior
I had coffee in their corporate office one time.
Handled all of international relations.
So it's just people are going to lie about that.
And executive accounts.
What's more important to immediately look for is, can they show up at the right place at the right time?
Step 1.
Can they dress to impress?
Step 2.
Okay. And can the person talk in front of other people? I mean, seriously, you think about all the people that you've hired. How many of the people that you've looked at in terms of candidates have a spotless resume that checks out all the way through? It's crazy. Okay. And so we do the group interview and filter with the group interview versus the resume first. Okay. Then if it's a skilled position and we need to go check references and check their credentials and their education, we can do so. But now we are checking a smaller group of people that would already fit our culture.
Yep. Versus
checking the whole broad spectrum of people that can't show up at the right place at the right time or just are spamming every job board.
So the big thing here, the big takeaway here is if you're spending hours looking through resume after resume after resume, unless it's a highly skilled thing. If it's a highly skilled thing, they probably need to have some credentials, some experience, that sort of thing. If you're talking about lower barrier of entry, talking about general, we don't even look at the resumes until after we've decided we want to talk to you again.
That's right.
That's what we do. That's what we do here. That's what we tell all of our clients to do because it's a speed thing. You need to have all these people come in so you can filter them down to the 15% that you want to talk to again, and then you can decide if these 15% are worth hanging around. Now, after that point, let's say you already have your designer spot filled. What happens? Well, now I have a whole list of people, a whole list of designers that I can call the second that anything goes weird. If my designer becomes a terrorist, or if my designer decides to go off and do his own thing, or my designer gets a sweet job in Costa Rica where he's able to, avoid, taxes and stuff like that. I don't know what you would do living in Costa Rica. You might be able to know better than I would on the Costa Rica thing.
There's plenty of them.
There's plenty of those reasons. If there's any reason at all that he's gone, I now have a whole bam, 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 bam. I can call them up. Hey, this job just opened up. Loved interviewing you. Would like to talk to you more in depth. And yeah, maybe 3 of those people have moved on. Maybe 4 of those people have moved on. But I'm a lot closer, and now I'm not stuck with a designer that I no longer want, or stuck with a hole I have nothing to fill.
That's right.
Okay, so practical application. 1, bring the candid conversation up front. Number 2, always be hiring. Hire before you fire. Number 3, your hiring needs to always be happening. Group interviews always happening. It almost is like a sales type of thing. It's almost like as important as bringing money in the door is always having people ready to fill those jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, sell it first. But then right after that, you got to have people for those jobs. Okay, cool. So that was number 1. Frank, thank you for that question. Number 2, give me some love here. Question number 2 here. Ooh, some gospel.
Yes, a little bit of gospel for everybody.
Okay.
All right. So question number 2, it comes from Judy. Judy. And she says, I get emails and calls from clients all day. And I feel obligated to answer them. I can't seem to get any real work done. So we need to help Judy out.
So she's stuck. Okay. So what kind of calls are these? Are these like...
These are like calls from...
sales calls...
Just all of the above. Mostly
calls.
Mostly customer service calls.
Okay.
Because has current clients that expect some kind of response from her on a daily basis immediately.
Sure. Okay. So mostly customer service calls. Okay, Judy. Well, let's talk about this. Let's lean on some mentor wisdom here. We're gonna go with Lee Cockrell. Lee Cockrell, time management wizard. He's also on the site. You can check out his trainings on the site, thrive15.com. Lee Cockrell, he was the executive VP of Walt Disney World Resort, managed 40,000 people, kind of a big deal. Millions of people per week coming through Disney World Resort, like millions. And most of them are not the same people. So there's going to be a lot of questions, a lot of things that he has to deal with, a lot of like customer service things that he probably has to deal with. What do you think, Marshall? Is that probably pretty accurate?
I would say a lot.
That's a good summarization. Good summarization.
They had 50 million people come through every single year and 1 million every week. 1 million guests every week.
And somehow they still have a good reputation.
Yeah. So quick action item for everybody watching. Think about right now, if you had 1 million clients a week, are they going to scale good conversation or scale bad conversation about your company?
That's a little overwhelming.
That's a lot of overwhelming.
Okay, so Judy, we're going to lean on some Lee Cockrell here, to answer this question here. Lee Cockrell quotes here for you. Efficient is being able to get things done. Effective is doing the right things in the right order and making sure you address everything that is urgent, vital, and important in every part of your life. So he's saying there's a lot of things going on. You got to decide what the most important things are. So that's step 1. Step 2 is one way to get your priorities accomplished is to schedule them into your calendar. Okay, so we're talking about time blocking. The Lee Cockrell, by the way, he's got a book out, Time Management. What is it? Time Management Magic.
That's right.
Time Management Magic by Lee Cockrell. If you have not watched the trainings, go read that book. Go buy that book. Buy some books for your friends. Lee Cockrell is talking about the rocks versus the sand. The rocks versus the sand. If you imagine your day, you've got to schedule your rocks. These are the big things that have to happen today. And the sand fills in everywhere else. So, for instance, if you're getting calls all day, first of all, if they're sales calls, that's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
If they're like new sales calls, right? Great problem
That's
to have.
sure.
Yeah. But if they're customer service calls that don't allow you to make more sales, that don't allow you to actually like continue building your business, then that's maybe not as awesome of a thing. So, first of all, I would hire somebody to just handle those calls. I build the scripts. This is what Clay Clark talks about all the time. Build the scripts, build the FAQs. They're going to be able to answer 80% of those things that happen every day, right? And it's going to keep you off the phone. If you cannot afford that in your business right now, you're still growing. Maybe you don't have the payroll to pay another $500, $600 a week for a $10 an hour guy to sit there and answer the phone calls. Then we're talking about time blocking. Marshall, what time do you get, because you handle the inbound emails here at thrive15.com.
A lot of emails.
At least most of the emails you handle. Yeah. So in fact, if you wanted to email him right now, you could email him info@thrive15.com, and this guy would eventually see it. In fact, what time would you actually see this email, Marshall?
Early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 4 to 5 to maybe, if you're feeling, kind of like sluggish, maybe 6 a.m.
Okay, so we clear all of our email accounts in the morning every day. And so that means I got to get up at whatever time I have to in order to get through all of the emails before the day starts.
Yeah.
Okay. So like today, we had a radio show production meeting at 6.
Go on.
So that meant I had to wake up at 3 to answer the couple hundred emails that we get from Thrivers. And so maybe not every day it's 3 o'clock. Maybe some days it's 4 or dare I say even 5 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Vacation. But you still got to wake up at whatever time you need to in order to get everything done. Okay. And so answering the email inbox, the entirety of the email inbox every single morning in the wee hours of the morning.
Okay. So that's how Marshall handles inbound stuff here. Lee Cockrell has also talked about setting specific times that you're going to answer these emails. So maybe it's 6 a.m. and 1 p.m., or maybe it's 7 a.m. and 2 p.m., or whatever it is that makes sense for your business. Have specific times that you're saying, okay, this is when I'm going to handle these emails. And by the way, he's got all kinds of canned responses and all kinds of stuff to answer the majority of those questions. He's like a machine. He's answering like 30 emails a minute. That's probably exaggerating a little bit, but it's pretty remarkable to actually watch. So get some, if it's a question that's going to happen over and over and over and over and over and over, get some canned responses so that you can always know what you're saying, get it out there, don't type out the whole thing over and over and over again. Number 2 is schedule those things. Schedule the times you want to handle those emails. Even schedule times you're going to call back people for customer service. If it's the same day, you're going to be golden. You're going to be above and fast beyond the majority of companies out there. If you say, okay, I'm going to answer phone calls and return phone calls at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. and maybe right before I leave, 6 p.m. or whatever it is, whatever makes sense for you and your business, so that those are your rocks, and the rest of your day you can fill in with the important things that you have to do. Maybe for you, maybe if it's a small business and maybe it's a lifestyle type of thing, maybe for you it's at 3 p.m. I've got to go get my kids. That's real life stuff. Maybe at 3 p.m., I have to go get my kids. I can't answer the phone. I keep getting calls at this time. So maybe at 3 p.m., I'm not answering the calls because I got to get my kids. But at 4 p.m., I'm going to call everybody back.
That's right.
Right? So you have to schedule those times and let the rest of the stuff keep more fluid so that you can get what you actually need to get done. Be effective more than you are efficient. Be efficient as much as you can, but be effective more than being efficient.
That's right.
Okay, so that's some Lee Cockrell. Let's move on to some daily wins of the week. By the way, Judy, thank you for that. Daily wins of the week. Give me some theme music for this, Marshall.
Oh, gosh.
That's good. Daily wins of the week. Okay.
Dan, you ready?
Now, I want you to... I need some announcement. This feels like a roller skating song. I think I need you to announce this like you are the DJ at the roller skating rink. We got the quad skates on. You're skating around. Maybe you're skating backwards. Maybe you're skating backwards if you're like really good. Maybe you're checking out the cute girls. You're like, hey, watch me skate backwards. I'm the man. Okay, now I need the radio DJ that's playing these songs at the roller skating rink. I need you to announce the daily wins of the week like that.
All right, let's try it.
Okay, ready.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, now featuring your daily wins of the week.
I like it. I thought
was that all right?
I mean, if I was skating right now, I would totally feel like that made sense.
All right, here we go.
That was good.
So, daily win of the week, we have Steve Currington. Okay, Steve Currington. So, I want everybody right now to Google Tulsa Mortgages. Tulsa Mortgages.
I'm gonna do it right now.
And everybody will find that Steve has a couple websites that come up top in Google for that. Now, Steve's super move here is Steve is a podcasting master. He podcasts a ton of stuff. And so all of those podcasts are coming up top in Google for Tulsa Mortgages because it is rich in search engine optimization content.
I just Googled it at the time of this recording right now. SteveCurrington.com is the number 2 Google listing. And CurringtonMortgage.com is the number 4 Google listing. So out of the top 5, out of the top 4, he's got 2 of those spots.
That's incredible. And so he's got into the top there by simply producing a number of different podcast episodes and then transcribing the content and putting it up on his website.
Google cares about amount of content more than quality of content.
That's right. Yeah. And so for everybody that's watching, if you want like more training on search engine optimization, we actually trained that on Thrive15.com.
Yep.
The entire system. And HTML, original content up on your website, is one of the key factors to that. Okay, so if you want to learn more, Thrive15.com, and this is the daily win of the week. Steve Currington, he's getting a ton of leads.
Well, he did it by hustling.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this is 69-hour-long podcast.
Yeah, you can't fake 69 hours.
69 hours worth of podcasting. You can't fake that, right? And he's getting now top mortgage listing in Google when we were working with other mortgage companies was getting about 10 leads a day.
Yeah.
Just from Google, 10 leads a day. And those are like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 commissions.
That's right.
Right? So if you're closing half of those, or if you're closing 20% of those, you're making an extra $4,000 or $8,000 a day because you're on top of Google. It's kind of a sweet deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you would like to hustle and like to get out there, this is my sales pitch part.
Shameless.
The rest of it was straight value. This is the straight sales pitch. Give me give me 10 seconds of sales pitch music here.
Okay. Hold on. Let me look.
Yeah,
here.
Look for something good.
Here you go.
Sales pitch, because this is what allows us to record this. We have to, pay for this stuff. So
sales pitch. Ready?
ready. Yep. Oh wow.
I'm just kidding.
Wow. I would have gone with that. I would have been okay with that. I don't know about you guys. Okay, this seems more appropriate. Okay. So here's the deal. If you want to get out there and hustle, if you want to get out there and build your business in a scalable way, number one, you can come to one of our workshops. Sam, show them the workshops up here. ThriveTimeshow.com/workshops. Come check out a workshop. They're on Thursdays and Fridays. Hook it up on there. Or go on to Thrive15.com and fill out one of the business assessment forms. Am I making this up?
No.
Okay, well, you looked at me like I was making this up.
I had something in my eye. I was still trying to look at the workshop.
Was it
all the
tear?
way behind me.
Was it a tear that you had in your eye?
Yeah, it was a tear.
It so beautiful?
You just sound so beautiful.
Go on to Thrive15.com, fill out one of the business assessment forms to find out where you are, where you rank in your business, and maybe where you could use some help. And maybe if we don't even help you, if you say, "Blah, I don't want to talk to those guys ever again," totally cool. Keep watching the show though. But we don't have to help you. It'll at least let you know where you could use some help, where you could get better in your business. So Thrive15.com, the business assessment forms, go fill that out. Do we have a short link for that we can just throw up on the screen? Is there anything?
We'll work on that.
We'll work on that. We'll put that on the screen here. Sam, put that on the screen here. The actual URL, right there, and go there for your business assessment form. Okay, Marshall, that's it for episode 1. Episode 1, I felt pretty good about it. I didn't think it was terrible.
Definitely not terrible. Not as terrible as you made it sound at the beginning.
Well, the beginning, I wanted to lay the it just really low expectations, so that when we brought the funk, you're like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
That was a purposeful move.
Under promise, over deliver.
That's right. You can hit us up on Twitter or on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube to see more of the Daily Hustle. And, of course, continue asking your questions on Thrive15.com. And we will continue answering them with the knowledge of the mentors and the practical application that we give for you every day here on the Daily Hustle. Marshall Morris, Daniel McKenna. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.